G'day, I'm Doc, and you're watching Scout Skills with Doc. Today, we're going to look at rope and getting rope ready to tie knots with it. So before we tie any knots, we need to have a piece of rope, and we need to have a piece of rope that's able to work properly. This one I prepared earlier, but sometimes you might want to cut your rope. And if you cut your rope, especially this sort of rope, this cord stuff, you end up with this frayed end, and it's just going to keep falling apart on you if you try and tie knots with it. So one thing we need to do when we're going to get our rope ready is we need to have a flame. Now this bit you might need to do with a parent or adult. It is dangerous because you are going to have the flame close to your hand and you could burn yourself. Also, this stuff is plastic. When it starts to heat up, it melts very quickly and it can drip onto your table, but it can also drip onto your hand and burn you, all right? So you'll be very careful. So, we need to have a nice flame. I prefer to use a lighter rather than a match because matches run out too quickly. We don't want to get the flame too close, okay? You see how it burns very quickly. We're just gonna lightly brush the rope end. Lightly brush it with the flame. You can see it's melted the plastic and it's sealed it, all right? Now this is going to be very hot still, so don't touch it yet. You need to give it about 30 seconds or you can blow on it for a little bit. Now that it's cooled down a little bit, I can just gently pinch it with my fingers, all right, to mold it into shape. Okay, so I'll do that again with the other end of the rope. So if we need to cut our rope, we leave it very frayed. Just very carefully with a lighter, we just brush the rope. You can see it melts very quickly. We don't want to spend too much time putting the flame on it, and then it's ready to go. Now our rope is ready to work with. We can tie our knots. Okay, before we start, you'll have all heard some various phrases when tying knots. We talk about bites, we talk about working ends, loops, standing ends. What does it all mean? Well, a loop's pretty simple, so let's start with that. Whenever you make a loop, you're literally doing that. You're just making a loop in the rope. Very simple. A bite in a rope is very straightforward. It's just making that sort of shape, a U shape kind of thing. So this here is the bite. All right. Now, what's a running end or a working end? It's quite simply the end of the rope that you're holding in your hand that you're tying the knot with. So this here is my running end or my working end. This part in my left hand here is the standing end. It's the bit of rope that's not actively involved in the knot, and it's just hanging off to one side or in your other hand. So, working end, standing end, a bite, and a loop. See you in the next video.